What is welcome to the transparency. Thank you for being here. Idaho4 Moscow Police Department. Are they extorting citizens through the public request? The records request? Is there extortion going on here? Let's talk about it. All right, again, guys, good afternoon. I will be dropping the link because if you have something to say about it, sure, why not? All right, first of all, in order to even talk about this, you have to go and take a look at the Idaho statutes, which is the Title 74, Transparent and Ethical Government. That is Title 74, Chapter 1, which is the Public Records Act. Now, 74-102 is the public records right to examine. Every person in Idaho or wherever has a right to examine take a copy of the public record of this state. And there is a presumption that all public records in Idaho are open at all reasonable times for inspection, except as otherwise expressly provided by statute. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is the right to copy public records shall include the right to make photographs or other copies while the records are in the possession of the custodian of the records using equipment provided by the public agency or using equipment designated by the custodian. So let's talk about that. Who is the custodian? Who is the custodian of Moscow Police Department records? Just so we're clear, you can't go assigning the prosecutor is like the custodian of the records. No, that's not accurate. So who is the custodian of the records in for Latah County, Moscow Police Department? And so my letter came back from a legal assistant. Okay, legal assistant. What's a legal assistant? I want the person that's writing me back to be the custodian of the records. Okay? Now, number three is additionally, the custodian of any public record shall give the person on demand a certified copy of it if the record is of a nature permitting such copying, or shall furnish reasonable opportunity to inspect or copy such records. Number four is a public agency may require that a requester for public records be submitted to it in a written and in writing, specifically describing the subject matter. So, hey, what are you looking for? And so we want you to write it down, and we want you to be as specific as possible. And we want you to state to us what records you're seeking, including a specific date or a date range for when the records, are being sought, what you're seeking for. The requesting party shall be as specific as possible when requesting records. A request shall describe records sought in sufficient detail to enable the public body to locate such records with reasonable effort. A request shall also provide the requester's name, mailing address, email address, telephone number, and a written declaration by the requesting party attesting to or affirming under oath whether such requester is a resident or not. And we're going to get into that. Idaho resident versus a non-resident. After that, number 5 says the custodian shall make no inquiry of any person that's requesting, who requests the public records, except to verify that they actually are a resident if they say that they are a resident. B, to ensure that the requested record or information will not be used for purposes of a mailing or telephone list, which is prohibited. So you cannot go because of this and start a mailing list. Okay. C, as required for purposes of protecting personal information from disclosure under Chapter 2, Title 49. And which there's no issues there. So number 6 is that the custodian shall not review, this is a big one, shall not review, examine, or scrutinize any copy, photograph, or memoranda in the possession, of any such person, and shall extend to the person all reasonable comfort and facility for the full exercise of the right granted under this act. Can't say shit. Number 7, nothing herein contained shall prevent the custodian from maintaining such vigilance as is required to prevent alteration. It's a big, big one. Based on my request or your request, you cannot go and then tip off your little boys or your little girls or whoever to then, hey, you need to alter some shit because there's a public request going out. I have to fill it. And I'm giving you this heads up to do X, Y, and Z. Can't do that. It's a big no-no. So you cannot, if you're the custodian, you cannot go off and prevent alteration of any public record while it is being examined. Number 8 here, examination of public records under the authority of this section must be conducted during regular office or working hours, unless the custodian shall authorize examination of records in another than regular office or working hours. So in this, who cares? Number 9. Basically, I think that's more for them. Like during 9 to 5, I'm going to be either working on this or you can come and check something out. Number 9, the public agency. So public agency being Moscow Police Department, Moscow, Latah County. That's your public agency. The public agency may provide the requester information to help the requester narrow the scope of the request. So anybody says to you, oh, we don't have that. Oh, sorry, I typed in it. No, they can help you. You can describe things to them, and they are supposed to be helping you find what you are looking for. Okay? It is not supposed to be the opposite way, which is not going to help you or know something, and I'm going to withhold that so that you can't get your request. So again, number 9 is that the public agency may provide the requester information to help the requester narrow the scope of the request or to help the requester make the request more specific when the response to the request is likely to be voluminous or require payment as provided in subsections. Big, big part right there. Ready? Big part. Oh, wait, you can help me so that this voluminous request, I can likely hone in on certain things because let's say I want 10 hours. I want this dash cam. Well, the dash cam was running for like, say, 6 hours. Okay. Okay. Well, what time was it running from? What are the times? You know, and whatever time they give you. Okay. It was from 1, let's say 12 to 6. Okay. Let's see. Based off of the body cams I've already watched, let me see where, like, I could see people maybe coming out. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to need this. Or did it? Well, let's say that you pick a time. Or let's say that somebody already requested it. Hey, somebody actually already requested 12 to 3. So I actually already have those all ready to go. So then here's your, so now focus on like 3 to 6, let's just say. That's how they're supposed to be communicating with you. Also, if they've ever reviewed the material themselves, they have personal knowledge. I would ask them, have you seen what I'm asking for? Have you reviewed this? Now let's get into the good stuff. Okay. Number 10. 10A. Except for fees that are authorized or prescribed under other provisions of Idaho law, no fee shall be charged for the first 2 hours of labor in responding to a request submitted by a resident for public records, or for copying the first 100 pages of paper records that are requested by a resident. So a resident is going to get 2 hours worth of time that you are not able to charge them for, okay? In addition to, if there's anything that needs to be copied, we have you for 100 pages. Oh, what about all this stuff that's like, they can send it to you digitally? If you feel like you need it once you review the material and they send that link, hey, write them back and say, I need this printed out and I will be there to pick it up at such and such time. When can I be there? They will print those for you. Up to 100 pages. Now, nowhere in there do I hear what these 2 hours are going to be. Like 2 hours. So let's think about this. How long does it take you if I say I want a body cam? How long is it going to take you to actually locate that? Okay, here it is, to download it. Then it gets put on a link and then you're going to send it to me, right? Let's say it's a 30-minute body cam. How does any of that exceed 2 hours? It shouldn't. How is it possible that something that is 30 minutes, okay, that even if you reviewed it, how in the world could you say that that was over the 2 hours? I think that you would have a legit argument there, right? Like, first of all, it took you how long to find this? Then you dragging, clicking, downloading it, explain to me your process, and then wait, you have to watch it before you give it to me. Why? Well, because we have to make sure that we take out, like, if someone's like date of birth or whatever. Okay. So you watch it, and then if you notice a date of birth, wouldn't you just stop it, redact right when you're watching it, continue on? After you get the date of birth and you're just getting somebody's, like, what? Maybe a phone number pops up, but you can't just sit here and redact and take out stuff that, what? We probably, like, you can't just, how are you determining what is being released? Especially that of what is said by an officer. Now, 10B, a public agency or a public official may establish fees to recover the actual labor and copying costs associated with locating and copying documents if there's three things. If the request is for more than 100 pages or of paper records. 2, the request includes records from which non-public information must be deleted. 3, the actual labor associated with responding to requests for public records in compliance with the provisions of this chapter exceed 2 person hours. Like 2 person hours. Okay, well, it should not. And even you're going in there and taking out, redacting a phone number or a date of birth. Okay, so now let's go to C. A public agency or public official may establish separate copying fee schedules for requests submitted by residents and requests submitted by persons who are not residents. The fee for residents may not exceed the actual cost to the agency of copying the record if another fee is not otherwise provided by law. Okay. DI actually. For providing a duplicate of a computer tape, computer disc, microfilm, or similar record system containing public record information, a public agency or public official may charge a fee uniform to all residents that does not exceed the sum of the following: the agency's direct cost of copying the information in that form, dude, this is drag, copy, click. Like, what are you talking about? Okay. The standard cost, if anything, for selling the same information in the form of a publication. What? The standard cost, if any, for selling the same information in the form of a publication. Who's selling information? Fuck, I'm not. Who's selling anything? 3, the agency's cost of conversion or the cost of conversion charged by a third party if the existing electronic record is converted to another electronic form. Again, none of this needed. Okay. D double I. A public agency or public official may charge additional fees uniform to all persons who are not residents for requests involving duplication of a computer tape, computer disk, all that crap. So Latah County has decided that anything that's a duplicate is $30. $30 for a duplicate. $30. How in the world can you justify that a duplicate would be $30? You can't. There's no fucking way. Ready? Because I'm going to prove this. E. E. So we just did C, D, now we're on to E of 10. Fees for requests made by residents shall not exceed reasonable labor costs necessarily incurred in responding to a public records request, and if charged, shall reflect the personal and quantity of time that are reasonably necessary to process a request. Now, I have an issue with this. Let's, for example, here. Well, I'll explain it here in a second. Fees for requests made by residents for labor costs shall be charged at the per hour pay rate of the lowest paid administrative staff employee or public official of the public agency who is necessary and qualified to process the request. Well, how does one become qualified that, hey, you know what, you can process this request? How do you determine who is qualified to process your requests? Police officers, who in Latah County? So that's a question that I'm asking. Who? Why would an attorney be needed, right? If a request from a resident requires redactions to be made by an attorney who is employed by the public agency, the rate charged shall be no more than the per hour rate of the lowest paid attorney, regardless on who's doing it, the lowest paid attorney within the public agency who is necessary and qualified to process the public records request. How do you get qualified to public? Like this begins to my first question, which is, who is the custodian of these records over there? And then how does one become qualified to be able to determine that they're following the rules here and you're only supposed to redact birthdays, phone numbers? What are the rules? Who's qualified to do this? What, do you have to teach them? Like, here you go in, when you put it in the system, you drag it here. You're going to have a whole bar that's listed. You're going to be watching the video. And when you hear something that's a birth date, this is how you delete that out. This is how you make a blur. Okay. Now, if a request from a resident is submitted to a public agency that does not have an attorney on staff and requires redactions by an attorney, the rate shall be no more than the usual and customary rate of the attorney who is retained by the public agency for that purpose. Now comes into my big daddy here, which is F. The public agency shall not charge any cost or fee for copies or labor when the requester is a resident and demonstrates that the requester's examination and or copying of public records is one of the following. Oh, yes, we're going to get into this. Oh, yes, we're going to get into all of this. So, oh, wait, Lana, did you say like someone doesn't have to pay for something? Exactly. Let me tell you what it says. So, the public agency shall not charge any cost or fee for copies or labor when the requester is a resident and demonstrates that the requester's examination and or copying of public records is the following. I. Is likely to contribute significantly to the public's understanding of the operations or activities of the government. So Idaho statesman's over here like, yep, that's me. Check, check. Is not primarily, II2 here, is not primarily in the individual interest of the requester, including, but not limited to, like the requester is not or may not become a party to a case or something like that. Yep, definitely not a party in that case. And then the third is will not occur if fees are charged because the requester has insufficient financial resources to pay such fees. Oh, so we can show, hey guys, you don't have money. Like, makes sense, right? Otherwise you'd be prejudiced. Only the rich people, only people with money get to see FOIAs. So you're not going to incur, will not occur if fees are charged because the requester has insufficient financial resources to pay such fees. G. Notwithstanding any provision of law to the contrary, a public agency or public official may charge fees for labor and copying costs associated with locating and copying documents requested by a person who is not a resident or an employee of a resident. So if you are an employee of a resident, you don't have to pay. The fee rates and schedule for requests made by persons who are not residents or employees of residents shall be at the discretion of the public agency or public official as long as such fees do not exceed actual costs of the public agency or public official. Well, if people are on salary, then you would be exceeding the cost the moment that you charge me, right? No? Think about it. Fuck, they're on salary. H. Statements of fees by a public agency shall be itemized to show the per page costs for copies and hourly rates of employees. And this is where I got them because this is where I got Latah. Baba Nutsack is in H. So again, statements of the fees by a public agency shall be itemized to show the per page cost for copies and hourly rates of employees and attorneys involved in responding to the request and the actual time spent on the public records request. No lump sum costs shall be assigned to any public records request. If a separate fee schedule is adopted for requests from persons who are not residents or employees of residents, the separate fees for such non-residents shall be separately identified. So, for example, I have an issue with this, such as right here. Okay. In regard to request U, based on approximately 15 minutes to search for and retrieve the requested records, with an estimated 990 minutes for redacting, legal review, and administrative tasks, the city estimates that the request will cost you approximately $1,242.72 for 1,005 minutes of staff time for Officer Snyder's dash camera footage. What? First of all, I don't even know how many minutes Officer Snyder's dash camera footage is. But Lana, what's in you? Well, let me break down what you request was. My request for you is request you reference supplemental report number 4. That's just your reference. So go to that. MPD supplemental report number 4. I'm helping you locate something. Ryan Snyder's body-worn camera on 11/13/2022. Okay, from his body-worn camera, meaning I was able to determine from watching his body camera, okay? I'm just telling you that this is how I can prove that it exists, okay? Ryan Snyder took pictures with a camera. These pictures, so these pictures is what I'm asking for, is the pictures that he took. Okay. These pictures, plus the interviews obtained on his body-worn camera while neighborhood canvass of King and Queen Road, and his written notes of those interviews. Specifically, I want the interviews of his time spent at 1112 King Road when he obtained the SD card from the light bulb camera. During that time, I would like all radio communication made by Snyder to Mowry pertaining to this camera, as well as any dash camera or body-worn camera audio revealing any information that was passed along to Detective Mowry pertaining to this light bulb camera. In parentheses, Ryan Snyder interviewed a BP witness about a dog barking at 4 a.m. and a witness named PC at 1112 the light bulb camera location. All text messages between Snyder and Mowry about light bulb camera. Okay, that's my request. That's you. Explaining the situation, okay? Now you're going to sit here and tell me. So first of all, when you have to upload, if there's text messages that would have been uploaded, okay, between those two people, you're searching for those, right? I was told that this request was going to take the city 1,005 minutes. They didn't tell me. So I want everybody to understand something. The first thing is that when I said these pictures, do you guys understand that everybody is under the assumption right now that Snyder's pictures, the ones that he took in that house and outside that house, have already been distributed? They're claiming that those have already been distributed. Well, it's funny because I asked for Corbin's pictures, Officer Corbin Smith's pictures that he took, because he also had a camera. But we have no idea what, as far as that's concerned, they can't find anything relevant. They can't find any responsive records to that. I said, I'm going to have to break this down for you on the phone because you're not getting it. So I'm unclear because this would be in violation of H, which is statements of fees by public agencies shall be itemized to show. So I put this all in an itemized request. So statements of fees by a public agency shall be itemized to show the per page cost for copies. That's not even talked about. There is nothing that says we have X amount of number of these pictures that Officer Snyder took. This is how much the pictures would be for each, for the copies of. You get what I'm saying? Where is that even mentioned? Like when you're going to itemize something out. So that would have to be itemized. Are there even any pictures? Like, what am I getting? You want me to pay money for something that I have no idea what I'm going to be getting back? Like $1,242.72 for 1,005 minutes of staff time for Officer Snyder's dash camera footage. That's what it seems like. Like, what about my you request has numerous things. And then it says, in regard to your request, you based on approximately 5 minutes to search for and retrieve the requested records with an estimated 8 minutes for redacting legal review, and administrative tasks, the city estimates that the request will cost you approximately $13.50 for 13 minutes of staff time for text messages between Snyder and Mowry. Okay, so $13.50 for text message between Detective Mowry and Snyder, right? Where's there any mention about my radio? There's no radio communication. Like, how the fuck were they talking? Were they on the phone? See him in person? And so you're telling me then that 1,500 minutes of staff time is for a dash cam? Dude, the dash cam. So then this is what I'm in the process of writing. Because I am not a happy camper. Okay. Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. I have taken the time to examine your response to my records requests. I have some questions as to assure that my right to know is not being exploited by the Latah County / Moscow Police Department. I will be referencing the following Idaho Statute Title 74, Chapter 1, Transparent and Ethical Government, Chapter 1, Public Records Act, 74-102. My first question is who is the custodian of the records? My second, number 2, the incident report number or supplemental report number that was provided with all of my requests were to help you locate the item. Period. Number 3, how is it determined if a lawyer or non-lawyer is able to work on my requests? Number 4, what is the lowest dollar amount paid to a lawyer within Latah County per hour? Number 5, what is the lowest dollar amount paid to a non-lawyer capable of completing public requests in Latah County? What qualifications, if any, are needed to be able to complete a public request from a U.S. citizen or local citizen inquiring, for you to complete this? Like, what type of qualifications? How are you deciding, hey, you know what, go grab Susie who works in the Rex department over there. She's over there picking daisies. Bring her ass over here, and she's going to start doing these, Get some of those guys that like mow and plow the streets. They are not doing anything, Bring them in. We'll have them do some public requests. Number 6, why am I being quoted for a request for a job that I am unaware of what the records, the results that you will be supplying me consist of? For example, how long does it take to download a body cam that is, let's say, 1 hour in length? How long does it take then to drag that downloaded body cam to a file to distribute it to the requester? How long does it take to redact personal identifiers such as date of birth and phone numbers, which would usually happen in the beginning of a video? Number 7, if you are required to watch the video or listen to the audio of a requested piece, then wouldn't the redaction and the listening and or watching happen at the same time, as in that you're doing all of this at once? Number 8, why are requesters literally, quote unquote, financially paying for your agency to double and triple check requested materials as to make sure that the material is, quote unquote, sanitized, as if you are putting the requested material through a taint team? My requests have very specific details for the purpose of helping the fetcher find the items as quickly as possible. I am using reference material from other requests to show and prove that what I am seeking for, in addition to I've taken one request, I realize that something else exists, okay? So I'm giving you a reference point to say that I know this exists because of my previous request, okay? Because it was uncovered in my previous request. For example, from watching person A body cam, I noticed that person B is now at the scene. and I am now requesting person B's body cam. I will reference and say, because of request A, I am now requesting request B due to person A's body cam showing me that person B's there. Okay? I know that it exists. So now I would like person B's body cam for this incident. Now, another example is, because of person A and person B, I was then able to uncover that they arrived not on foot, but in trooper vehicles, and that they have dash cams on those vehicles. So now I am requesting person A and person B's dash cam for the incident because I saw them both in person, person A and person B body-worn cameras that I just reviewed for my request, so I know it exists. So now, with all of that said, what I do not understand is how a dash camera that is located outside of the yellow crime scene tape is requiring 1,000 motherfucking minutes of staff time to accomplish me receiving the dash cam video, and at a rate of $1,200 to $1,500 fucking dollars, of which I have no idea how many minutes of total dash cam there even is. What type of quote unquote legal review goes into a dash cam that is literally sitting on a cruiser on a public roadway? There is no expectation of privacy. Also, why would any attorney need to be used for reviewing dash cam video footage? Explain to me your process and how you determine how many minutes of a dash cam would then translate into X number of minutes of staff time and legal review. Show your work. I am pissed. Listen, you're not going to go through some fucking video, okay? Let me, I'm the one that went and got the cams in the beginning and to show when the students at the house, hey, look at all these noise complaints, right? Was anything motherfucking redacted? No, nothing. Did they go through it? Yeah, because there was some stuff redacted, which was the date of birth, the people's names. You know how much I paid for those? $0 motherfucking dollars. 0. You know how much time it took for her to do any of this? No time whatsoever. Once we talked to her, narrowed it all down. Here you go. Yep, send me those. That's what I'm requesting. Listen to this shit. In regards to request G, based on approximately 15 minutes to search for and retrieve the requested research or records, with an approximate 648 minutes for redacting, legal review, and administrative tasks, the city estimates that this request will cost you approximately $808.88 for 663 minutes of staff time for Officer Smith's motherfucking dash camera. Are you out of your fucking mind? $808.88 for a dash cam? So, ready? Reading on. Statements of fees by a public agency shall be itemized to show the per-page cost for copies and hourly rates of employees and attorneys involved in responding to the request and the actual time spent on the public records request. No lump sum costs shall be assigned to any public records request. Well, that sounds like a lump sum. You're giving me a lump sum. You're not telling me how much does this person get paid? What's their hourly rate? I can't imagine who works in Latah County that's getting paid through the county that's hourly. Aren't those salary motherfuckers? Is Ashley Jennings working on my shit? Who's the custodian of these records? No lump sum costs shall be assigned to any public records request. Well, no shit. So you're in violation of this. If a separate fee schedule is adopted for requests for persons who are not residents or employees of residents. The separate fees for such non-residents shall be separately identified. Now, 11. A requester may not file. So I said to myself, well, remember so I said, I have so many people that live in Idaho. Okay. Fuck, I'll call up Dr. Moore right now. You want to have some fun, Dr. Moore? You busy? A requester may not file multiple requests for public records solely to avoid payment of the fees, because remember, the first 2 hours are free, right? I am telling you right to go where it's at. You're dragging stuff. Dude, my requests don't take no time because I'm not having you hunt around for a goddamn thing. I know where the shit is. But you can't sit here and tell me that it takes somebody 900 minutes to literally upload I don't care if the dash cam is 4 fucking hours long. 4 hours times 60. What is it? It's 240 fucking minutes. How the fuck are you getting to 800 and 900 minutes for, I mean, even if it was 8 hours of dash cam, 8 times 60, 480 minutes. Who the fuck do you think you are? Even if you had to sit there and watch every fucking minute of that 8 hours, 480 minutes. You can just sit there. What? You think that you're going to blur somebody out? You think that what do you think you're going to do to my video that I'm requesting? You're not going to do shit to it. You're not going to, what are you doing? There's no redactions needed. What can possibly be needed to redact? Something somebody said that, makes your, what, you guys look bad? No, the people of Idaho want to see what's going on. And yeah, if something makes somebody look bad, it's not you, the records person, that's looking bad, right? Just maybe you should get rid of the bad eggs. It's not you that's giving me the record, so who cares? So you want to protect the motherfucking people? That's what I see happening. So now we have the custodian of the records wanting to cover up or protect the shitty ass job of the dimwits and the dipshits of Moscow Police Department. So here they put it in that, hey, guess what? You're not going to be able to go and just give me a bunch of individual requests so you can get around your little fee. Okay. So when a public agency reasonably believes that one or more requesters is segregating a request into a series of requests to avoid payment of fees authorized pursuant to this section, the public agency may, are you kidding me? Do you want to know what they're basically saying there? If I was to come out and have a live and say, listen, hey, I'm asking you guys to all exercise your rights. If you live in Idaho, and I went ahead and did all the hard work, and here it is. I have 500 items that need to be requested. Who wants to take the first 2 items? You, Billy, go ahead. Who wants the next 2? Okay. Next. Okay. Come on, guys. We the people. You're going to sit here and say that you're going to deny that because I'm able to say and get crowds of people that, oh my God, yeah, I want to see what's going on. There's public interest in this. Andrea, thank you, Andrea. Andrea's like, they can't charge you $600 and give the same doc to the next person for free, and it's legal. Wild. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. Not a clue what they're doing. But I'll tell you what I'm not doing is, can you imagine I'm going to go pay for a car? I'm going to go buy a car, not know what it looks like, not know anything about it, what kind of features I get, nothing. How long it'll last. Here you go. And then here's my request, and it's 8 hours of a body cam that's all redacted. Are you out of your mind? Or Beyond me. Let's see these other requests here. I said I want. Okay. In regard to request E that I asked for, based on a request E, by the way, is request E reference narrative report by the narrative report that was written. It was written by Gunderson. So I said that's your reference. So if you're referencing the narrative report, I'm saying that I would like Gunderson's body worn camera for the entire day, specifically his body worn camera that catches seeing the knife sheath. Okay. Any written notes from the day uploaded to a report, the neighborhood canvas, Queen Road Apartments, any pictures taken by work or personal cell phone, dash camera from 11/13/2022 from 12 to 2 p.m. That was my request for E. Well, in regards to your request E, based on approximately 15 minutes to search for and retrieve the requested information, with an estimated 300 minutes for redacting, legal review, and administrative tasks, the city estimates that this request will cost you approximately $388.73 for 315 minutes of staff time for Sergeant Gunderson's dash cam footage. So I'm not going to get the sheath. His dash cam is sitting in a public roadway where there's no expectation of privacy. It's a police trooper sitting there right there. What in the world do you have to redact? Where's my request G? Oh. I requested in request G was reference supplement report number 1, which was written by Corbin Smith. Corbin Smith took pictures of the black backpack, body worn camera, sees it on you can see it from the other people's body cam. You can see it from the pictures that we've already had, but there is a black backpack, and I want the up close pictures of the black backpack that was out in the yard. His body worn camera, and it was like, I gave him the timestamp that I wanted. The dash camera, and I want the written crime scene log. He sat in the back of the porch in the back, and he was writing down who was entering, who was leaving. I want the written notes. I want if he typed up something, right? If there was only one log, which there shouldn't be because there should be a back door and a front door, that was my request G when I was quoted as saying that for what I put in there, it's going to be about 15 minutes to search for that stuff and retrieve it. And then 648 minutes for redacting, legal review, and administrative tasks. Why wouldn't you be telling me how many minutes there, like from everything that you're saying right there, I'm thinking, okay, until I get to this part. $808.88 for 663 minutes of staff time for Officer Smith's dash cam footage. So that it makes it seem like that's the only thing I'm getting. But yet my request G, as I just stated to you, everything that I'm looking for. I said reference the CAD communication for request D. I would like the radio and audio recording from the CAD from 11:50 to 2 p.m. 11:50 a.m. to 2 p.m. It should involve Gunderson, Warner, Noonans, Justin Olson, Snyder, Barrett, Dollinger, Rosinski, John Lawrence, and Smith. Next, over here. The public agency may consider the time period in which the requests have been made in its determination to, maybe we're not going to fill your request. A public agency shall not aggregate multiple requests on unrelated subjects from one requester. So as long as I'm requesting different things, they're going to fill them. Number 12. The custodian may require advance payment of fees authorized by this section. Any money received by the public agency shall be credited to the account for which the expense being reimbursed was or will be charged. And such funds may be expended by the agency as part of its appropriation from that fund. Any portion of an advance payment in excess of the actual costs of labor and copying incurred by the agency in responding to the requester shall be returned to the requester. Ready? So here, after I was reading this, and it says that your request itemizes your records request using the identifiers of request A through U, which will be addressed in that manner because that's how I wrote it up. They're saying that they need an additional 35 days to obtain this information. And so it lists and it goes through it. Now, how are you literally going to charge me for the Humane Society paperwork that I'm asking for Nate Rosendahl? Because at $13.50. Now, it says the city charges $3 duplication fee for resolution 2025-20 for any data request of 20 gigabytes or less, with an additional $5 for each additional 20 gigabytes in any single request. If you choose to move forward with this portion of your request, we are requiring full payment of the duplication cost for the requested records in the amount of $30. So each one is $30. So, for example, here it is. Warner's second body-worn camera video. Officer Noonan's second body-worn camera video. LB's interview on November 13th with Maury. Sergeant Gunderson's body-worn footage, segment 5. Dash cam footage with JD. And video footage from MPD lobby have been paid for but are not yet ready for release. If you would like to receive any of those 5 things I just listed, please respond to this letter and the city will put you on the list. And you have to pay that $150 now because it's $30 per each one of those. So that's $150. And I said, are any of these even ready? No. Where's my motherfucking Molly? Give me my motherfucking Molly video. The most important video. In regards to the records listed below of your request, the city may charge for the city's actual cost for any public request records from a requester who is not a resident. So you're going to sit here and tell me that the actual cost of what I'm asking for is in excess of $35 motherfucking $100? Now we know that it's not, okay? And I'm not paying because you guys want to be extra careful of what you're giving out because it's going to make your department look bad. You want to do that on your time? Go right the fuck ahead. Go right ahead. If you feel that you need to have 3 people sanitize your shit like a taint team, go right ahead. I'm not paying for it though. Neither should the citizens of Idaho. If you want to do that, go right ahead. I am not paying for your sanitization. Sorry, not happening. And you have to have legal grounds as to why you think that you're redacting something. You can't just, oh, yeah, we're just going to take this out, take that out. Sorry, this doesn't work like that. I believe that they're in violation of their own statute. So now, number 12 is the custodian may require advance payment of fees. I already said that. Number 13 is this. A public agency shall not prevent the examination or copying of a public record by contracting with a non-government body to perform any of its duties or functions. So like number 14 is nothing contained herein shall prevent a public agency from disclosing statistical information that is descriptive of any identifiable person or persons unless prohibited by law. Because I got a lot of stats I want. Number 15, Nothing contained herein shall prevent a public agency from providing a copy of a public record in electronic form if the record is available in electronic form and if the person specifically requests an electronic copy. And that's exactly how I'm asking for it. And so I know that you guys are literally, I personally believe that this is extortion. I have no doubt about it. I believe this is extortion. They said that there was over 1,500 people requesting. 1,500 people. Okay. Do you guys realize it's October 8th? And what the hell have we seen? What the hell are they working on? What the hell? You know how many requests are out there? I would be able to, when I request something from Moscow back, if it was, hey, this incident with, let's say, like, I don't know, something that happened 2 days ago. Okay. Hey, I need the body cam from this guy, and I want the dash cam from his cruiser. I'd have that shit within, I don't know, 7 days, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. I mean, and it's stuff that would have anywhere between, like, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. This is lies. Number 16. A public agency or elected official shall designate a custodian or custodians for all public records, which includes any public official having custody of, control of, or authorized access to public records, and also includes all delegates of such officials, employees, or representatives. And that's what I want to know. I want to know who the fuck is in charge of this shit. And that's my first question right off the gate is, who's in charge? Who's the custodian over here? And why are you guys running with I don't know. But it says it in here. You cannot just go and redact shit just to redact shit. Lamb, it looks like you were biting your tongue a bit. Let it go. No, I think I'm letting it go. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? That a plea deal was just going to shut it down and that information wasn't going to come out? For example, Idaho State Police, they are sitting on 46 lab reports. If I want to effectively conduct an interview with Gabrielle Vargas, I need some of those motherfucking lab reports that y'all said where you were putting out. You don't, Lana, your request. Well, we're going to be putting it. I said, fill my request. I don't care if you're putting it out publicly. I asked for this shit in July. It is October. You know, there is an old saying that, hey, these public requests make what I say credible. And you are preventing me, okay, from providing people the proof on that, hey, yep, that's where I want to go and get my information because she's getting it straight from the government. Isn't that what you want? Transparency? Isn't that what the fuck the name of this damn thing is? Yeah, transparent and ethical government. My ass. They have this stuff, you guys. Just like why Hitler? Where's Hitler been? Hitler, why aren't you putting out the last batch? It's been over 30 days. Like, what are you doing? They think that time is going to die down the hoopla. Okay? If you noticed, mainstream media ain't going for anything. Mainstream media they're not interested in anything. They're not obtaining anything. Why hasn't mainstream media put out the Brian Koberger interview? Don't you think they'd be interested in that? Hey, Brian Koberger is a fucking psycho motherfucker, right? Piece of shit. Killer, right? Where's that interview? Go get that interview. Go get the interview of Brian Kober. What's the problem? Oh wait, is there a? You guys nervous about a leak? Is that leak thing getting to you? The leaky leaks? Are the leaks worrying people? People getting questioned about the leaks? Huh? Be scared of the leaks? Huh? How about what's his name? Brian Enton. Culver said, "Who else was arrested, motherfuckers? Who's your source?" Or it was like a Scott Peterson thing that we're gonna put out. Oh yeah, there's bleach all over the house. Buckets of bleach. Come on, who else was arrested? Who else got arrested? Who else was arrested? Big man Brian. Who else was arrested, man? 3 unknown blood in that house. Where's all the blood? Who's it matched to? Who else was arrested? Cat got your tongue, Brian Enton? Not standing by your source anymore? Thanks for watching my channel. Go ahead and click subscribe, like. Thanks for watching my video. So today I was walking around and I interviewed so-and-so, and this is what they said. I swear, I think Brian Enton wants to be JLR. Or maybe JLR wanted to be Brian Enton, but Brian Enton went to News Nation. Come on. Brian Kober said, who else was arrested? Who else was arrested? Ridiculous. What else we got here? Oh, Othram. Oh wait, where's Howard Bloom? Yeah, he's not speaking because of the leak. He's scared. It's funny that nobody's talking mainstream media wise with this case on whoever put out information that they wound up with really early. I have a question. How come known, like literally known, friends of the Department of Pullman who are meth sellers, buyers, druggies, how come they were right outside the house of 1122 King Road right as before after the stabbings? Hanging out with Molly, delivering DoorDash. These are people that are in Facebook groups with cops that go in under female fake names. Nobody cares. I care so much that I asked Whitman County. I asked them for all their information that they had on Justin, whatever the hell his last name is. And they said they have no information. They have no idea who that person is, as he's not in their system. I shouldn't say that they have no idea who he is. He's just not in their system. Not in their system? You're telling me that that boy has never gotten in trouble by the sheriff's department? Get out of here. Swear to God, the only person that they have records on is Molly. Justin, though, the guy who is literally selling and buying meth with the police officers, nothing. They don't have anything on him. Unreal, right? They asked me for $6 and a money order to send it to them to get my Molly incident reports to see where Molly's name is coming up in Whitman. gonna give a shout out to yesterday. Scott Peterson was wild. Oh, it's gonna get more wild. Actually, if anybody in this chat is like all like thinks Brian Kober's innocent and all that, you really need to see what Scott Peterson's habeas, the Los Angeles Innocence Project, filed on his behalf. It is unbelievable, and it's finally the truth on what the fuck has happened in that case. That those fat bastards in Modesto hid, covered up. They destroyed evidence. I mean, the DA and the prosecutors are banging cops. It's just whoa. Anyways, it all came out in a 659-page petition, a writ, and I'm reading it. It's amazing, but you need to check it out. You can see it if you type into my channel with the Scott Peter. There's like, I think there's already been 3 episodes. Just listen to it. 659 pages. It's good shit. I want to point out, what everybody's got to peep on over there and see what homegirl Translucent in her wild ass says. And I think it was yesterday, the day before. I'm like, what the fuck is this girl up to now? Or boy, whoever. I don't even, it's an AI. And so when I was, yeah, here we go. It's a post, I believe, that she made. All right. And it says, okay, 22 hours ago, I did an FBI search on Kaylee Gonsalves. Apparently, they have files on her, but these are not publicly accessible. Apparently, they are still actively investigating the G's. And then she put up half of her request from, or if it's a boy, her Freedom of Information Privacy Act, FOIPA, and clicked on it, took a look at it. And it says, there's just one part I want to show. It says this response to your Freedom of Information Privacy Act request. Please see the paragraphs below for relevant information specific to your request, as well as the enclosed FBI FOIPA addendum for standard responses applicable to all requests. It says, the records responsive to your request are law enforcement records. There is a pending or prospective law enforcement proceeding relevant to these responsive records, and release of the information could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. Therefore, your request is being administratively closed. For a further explanation of this exemption, see the enclosed explanation of exemptions. So again, there is a pending or prospective. So prospect means in the future, a prospect. There is a pending or prospective law enforcement proceeding relevant to these responsive records. And now, but guess what she didn't show us? She did not show us what she actually fucking requested. And so these could be responsive to, I don't know, Charlie Kirk shooting. Okay. So that's why I laugh when she posts stuff, because it's like, we have no idea what the request was, though. Shook tits. So she's a wild one. Stop. Lama, they have it out for you. They have a few videos that astounded me, though. They're wild. Trust me, she'll make a video about this. And I'm flattered. Shook tits. Keep hamster wheeling my name, baby. I love it. Okay, next is okay, here. She then goes on. Oh, where did this go? Yeah, here. She then says, I love reading the comments sometimes too, because just the wild shit. Like when you have a wild person like that, and then just the people that are commenting under the wow shit, it's like, woo. So Translucent reposted Mark Run. She reposted Mark B's video. Run. Ready? Translucent 3 weeks ago. Tyler Yelk lived on Indian Hills Drive, the first sighting of the car. They originally believed the car was a Nissan Sentra 2019 to 2022. Tyler drove a 2021 Sentra. His phone placed him at the 1122 house the night of the murders. She says, I'm actually flabbergasted. Okay. And I say, prove that Tyler lived there. Prove that he lived on Indian Hills Drive. Prove that. Because I know the name of the people that actually turned in the one video, but prove to me that Tyler Yelk lived on Indian Hills. Translucent. Next, her video here, and it's titled, God. Her video is titled Canine Search on Dahlia and Molly McMeth and JS. I don't know. It's this body cam that she wants to put out. Then she made a video called Officer Noonan's Body Cam is Telling. Okay. And I want you to listen to what she thinks is telling about this video, as it made me chuckle. Okay. Play on.
Where's she at? Yep, where's she at? Where's she at?
Let's be super clear about what's happening. The officer is asking about the one single patient whom he needs to administer primary care to. The group gesture that the one single patient is upstairs. There is no attempt to say there's more than one person who needs attention. Whether or not Hunter also saw Ethan, there's no indication from this event that any one of these people know either where Kaylee and Maddie are, nor how their well-being is.
Do you know if the other two girls are upstairs or not?
Right now, what we got to do is we got to process this whole thing.
That makes sense.
I don't know what I'd be permitted to.
That's fine. That's
20 minutes later, we hear the only one time a friend has inquired about the whereabouts of Kaylee and Maddie. As the officer declines, Dylan appears to assume their fate by responding, "That's fine."
Hey, boss, I got to get going to start some paperwork back at the station, so you mentioned you don't want to go with me. I'll have you stay here.
At 50 minutes, the officer finds Jack still sitting in his car. This whole time, Jack has made no attempt at finding out where Maddie and Kaylee are. He has made no attempt in finding out if they are okay. He is supposed to be unaware of whom from the friends standing outside are involved or...
Are you under the opinion that you can actually open up and get out of that police vehicle when it's closed? Is that your opinion, Translucent, that you can actually get out of a police vehicle in the back seat when it's closed?
Witnesses. It's as if he already knows they are not, because he already has prior knowledge.
I forgot you were here, man. Do you still want to hang out here?
I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know how much I'm allowed to disclose right now. We're processing what's going on in the scene. As soon as we know for sure, we can tell you guys what's going on. We absolutely will. I know it sucks to be in the dark with this, but okay. And what's your relationship again?
If we rewind to the 30-minute mark, the cop is surprised to find Jack still in his car. Jack makes a slip up. He complains that everyone outside knows about Kaylee apart from him. This misunderstanding is revealing. We know that friends outside actually have no idea where Kaylee and Maddie are at this point. They believe Zana is unconscious. Jack has
Zana is unconscious.
revealed inadvertently that he already knows the fate of Kaylee by concluding the friends already know.
The Idaho State Police interviewed the friends standing outside. One odd thing they said was that when Jack arrived, he only seemed concerned about Murphy. Again, it's as if Jack was already aware.
And the worst acting goes to Jack the Cur.
Yeah, that day is that day was started out actually started out as a very odd Sunday in the first place because he was sick, and he's never, ever, 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 ever sick. Never been to the hospital my entire life. And it wound up being Ramsey Hunt. So he had like this crazy rash on his face that started in his ear all the way down the nerve. And that morning woke up with his face all swelled up and was like, there's something wrong. I think I actually need to go to urgent care. And I was like, that's crazy. If you're saying that, this is serious. So that's how the morning started out. So came home. They diagnosed him with Ramsey Hunt, and he was in a lot of pain. But our son came over, and they were watching the football game. And me and his mom and my mom started getting out Christmas decorations because I was like, let's decorate. Let's start decorating for Christmas. My niece called, and she was very frantic. And she was asking me if I had talked to Kaylee. And I was like, yeah, I had just talked to Kaylee the night before. I mean, this is around 1:30-ish.
So Jack is apparently already aware of Kaylee's demise over in Moscow. Christy doesn't hear from Jack at all. It's Cousin that finally calls Christy at 1:30. Steve has never ever been to the hospital before. Suddenly, when Kaylee passes, he ends up in urgent care with a breakout of Ramsey Hunt, a disorder that is prompted by acute stress. Is it far-fetched to wonder if Steve and Jack had spoken before the 911 call was made? If you do think that is plausible, then what does that say about their involvement, or at the very least, having exculpatory or guilty knowledge of the crimes?
How many people were rolling on acid when they were? Did you guys just run and hurry up and pop some? Then she decides to change her picture to tits and sunglasses. So there you have that. Okay. And here, my creep. Okay, Lana. Okay. Let's use Lana's live to clarify some recent findings. You guys need to go watch this. Okay, Lana. That's a very interesting picture that you're using with your little 19-minute. You gave me a 19-minute vid, girl. Girl, you make like 4-minute vids. You gave me a 19-minute vid? Oh, hell yeah, girl. Street cred. Fuck out of here. Here you go.
Buckle up, folks. We've got a mind-blowing story that'll leave you speechless. Picture this: a man named Richard Anthony Colameco on a wild journey from Moscow, Idaho to Asheboro, North Carolina. But here's the kicker. He didn't just arrive in town. He marched straight into Randolph Courthouse and demanded to speak to a sheriff. Now, what he said next, it's so shocking you won't believe your ears. He points fingers at not one, but 3 suspects in the shocking incident at 1122 King Road. The alleged mastermind, Kevin J. Barlow. Kevin reportedly had 2 accomplices, Alan McTeague and Aaron Henry. Kevin supposedly made his getaway on a motorbike while the other 2 sped off in a car.
Richard, looking disheveled, stands before the sheriff. "Where are you staying?" the sheriff asks. Richard shifts nervously, sleeping rough nearby. The sheriff's eyebrows raise. "Why'd you leave Moscow, Idaho?" Richard's eyes dart around. "Just had to get out, you know?" The sheriff leans in. "And how exactly do you know Kevin, Alan, and Aaron did it?" Richard's face goes blank. He stammers, I don't, but they'll try to frame me. "So what do we make of this here on Team Translucent?" Richard, in a total psychological meltdown, commits the crimes himself. He sobers up, realizes what he's done, and spills everything to his buddy Kevin. Now Kevin's all like, "Dude, you gotta turn yourself in, or I will." And what does Richard do? He freaks out and hitches rides to the farthest state away from Moscow.
More of his friends call him. Alan and Aaron tell him to come clean. Richard then flips the script and points the finger at them and warns the sheriff they might try to pin this on him. Richard has had multiple cases across 6 states, but they are mostly vanished into thin air. Even when we tried to search for his Moscow address, it can't be found. Well, actually, it appears briefly in Google's results because it was somehow cached by Google, but it's missing when you actually enter the site. It's as if Richard's past is playing hide and seek with the internet and maybe law enforcement. Or is law enforcement pulling the strings here?
Buckle up, folks.
Buckle up, bitches. This back in the day. Now, okay, check this out. Here we go. 19-minute video. So unless you video date, let me talk, girl.
cases, restriction issues, name it. Yes, there's more juicy details we're dying to share, but the judge will please put down in weeks. So for now, we're wondering what's really going on in Molly's world. Stay tuned, folks. Something tells me this story is far from over.
Okay, this happens before she puts out and uses the body cam from Molly. Okay, the important part is May 16th is the date of this video. There's no way to change that date on the video. There is a way, though, to change the title of a video and to put Molly McMichael in the title. Okay, May 16th, 2025. Now check that. But it was either in this video or then the next day. I would love to know who's behind that after that, because of what I
her Dasher ID here and hit enter.
You don't know if that's Zana's.
Hold up, dummy. I think Viviana tested our method.
Okay, I'm going to give props to Translucent. But Translucent is 100% correct. This is Xana's customer ID.
Okay.
I followed what Translucent said to do, which was paste the ID number into the URL, not on Ethan's. So thank you, Translucent.
Yeah. What's the
location of records, which means the DoorDash order was ordered on Xana's account, not on Ethan's. So thank you, Translucent.
Over and over again.
How long did it take you to make this video, girl? I am looking for an editor. If we use my brains and your editing skills, I think we actually may get somewhere.
That as soon as he turned on his phone, he connected to a police radio network.
What?
This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with Mother for over.
Wait, when did? What is she? I'm laughing. When was this ever said? I'm laughing at. He connected to a what? I'm laughing at the.
He connected to a police radio network. This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with Mother for over 3 hours the day of the murder.
So was it one whole 3-hour call or was it chunks?
The longest one was about an hour and a half, and then there was a 54-minute call, and then smaller chunks. But some,
you guys, I have never heard in all the years I've been following this case that Brian's phone ever connected to the police. What?
Here's a receipt. Read carefully, Lana.
Okay. Oh wait, Fox News. Fox News is the receipt. Leaky. Here. Let me connected to the police. Oh, wait, hold on. Here is the receipt, Lana. Cobra searched for a police scanner website to listen to the Pullman Police Department's radio calls in the early morning hours of November 13th. No, he did not. That's actually not. You can't believe that you believe this shit, but it's even more proof of the fucking bullshit that was being passed around then. Okay, that means somebody leaked this and they leaked it wrong to Fox News. And what he did is there was a screenshot. And guess who? Danny Vargas mentions it. And I found a picture, or it was that hit and run. It was that hit and run. There was a picture of the girl's mugshot too, I believe. It connected to the police. Actually, what you're proving here is that they didn't need frickin' frack to find that shit. You get what I'm trying to say? If it was known way back then, we don't need frickin' frack to fucking find shit. Why did the FBI bring them in? If they found.
Remember the fake news at the time that as soon as he turned on his phone, he connected to a police radio network?
No, we don't. What the heck? When was this from? Lana, read the receipts. God damn it. Wait, what? And so what I think is hilarious, she's like, well, anybody that said that back in the day, they just these expert losers just debunked you. What? God, I'm dead. I want to interview.
This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with Mother for over 3 hours the day of the murder.
These call logs, and the one call was 54 minutes leading up until 9 a.m. the day of the murders. And when we said that, someone else correlated it to, well, he was reportedly back at the crime scene around that time, And we didn't know that because we, weren't focused on that piece of the investigation. We weren't aware. But the words that were being spoken would probably speak volumes to everyone as to what was he saying to her as he was, what was he saying to her as he was doing that? Like, as he's driving back towards this crime scene.
Except he didn't drive to the crime scene. The prosecution themselves have recently admitted that without timing advanced records, they couldn't pinpoint Brian's locations. Cy doesn't believe they didn't have this data, which implies the prosecution actually did know where Brian was, but it was exculpatory for Brian. Court records actually show that he actually went to a cash ATM right next to a dispensary that morning. These experts should never be hired again using the taxpayers' money.
Wait a second. Wait. Can I hear that part again? Wait, because now we're going to get into this bomb I'm about to drop.
For Brian's locations. Cy doesn't believe they didn't have this data, which implies.
So is this the ATM that Brian withdrew $1,500 from?
As the prosecution actually show that he actually went to a cash ATM right next to a dispensary that morning. These experts should never be hired again using the taxpayers' money.
Wait. Withdrew. Oh, wait. Hired again. There we go. This disclosure contains WA Trust Bank records for Mr. Kohlberger. This is an Excel spreadsheet of transactions and PDG documents of images of Mr. Kohlberger in his car at the ATM on the morning of 11/13/2022. The state has not provided any specifics related to what it intends to rely on or use as evidence, nor a certificate that the records videos were blah, 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 blah. Rumor has it that Brian took out $1,500, but it wasn't on 11/13. Don't know. Hired again. Let's see. This recently dropped. Wait, what is going on? Girl, come on, let's have some fun. Translucent. Look at, she went from showing a face with eyes and glasses to now it's full-blown tits, cleave, and sunglasses. You want to know what video I do like of yours, though, Translucent? I'll give you some props here. I'm sure you're going to make an hour video. Let's make something good, though, if we're going to make a video, girl. Come on now. Is this one. If I was going to do a Translucy, a ridge, Translucy, a ridge, I'm going to do your Dylan Pathfinder video. There we go. This one.
Picture this, 6:30 in the morning, sun barely peeking over the horizon, and our mysterious up.
Here we go.
All right, car enthusiasts, buckle up for some mind-blowing news. Remember all those YouTube videos claiming the 4:20 a.m. SUV was a Jeep? Well, I've got a plot twist for you. Picture this, 6:30 in the morning, sun barely peeking over the horizon, and our mysterious 4:20 a.m. vehicle rolls in. As the light hits just right, we catch a glimpse of something unexpected, a circular badge on the front. That's right, folks. It's not a Jeep after all. All those YouTubers had us fooled. So what could it be? We're not here for the drama. We're here for the wheels. That's right. We're taking a peek at what's parked outside Dylan's Boise pad. Boom, a Nissan Pathfinder with a lovely round badge. This image was taken by Google on October 20th, 2022.
Boom. I heard vag, but it's not badge.
We're not here for the drama. We're here for the wheels. That's right. We're taking a peek at what's parked outside Dylan's Boise pad. Boom, a Nissan Pathfinder with a lovely round badge. This image was taken by Google on October 20th, 2022. It's 4:22 a.m. and Dylan texts Bethany saying she's too screwed to run downstairs. But here's the twist. At that exact moment, someone's seen sprinting towards this Nissan. Fast forward to 6:30 a.m. and our mystery runner seems to return. But wait, there's more. The other camera catches the car heading east, straight for Gritman Hospital. What's really going on here? Was Dylan actually in her room or even Bethany's room?
This is right there. This is what the cop said. This is this girl petting her cats, making sure her cats are okay. And then, hey, yeah, my cats. Then they say, this is her arriving back home. There she goes. It looks like she's got something. She's carrying something, right?
Picture this. It's 4:22 a.m. and someone's making a dash from the Queen Apartments. But here's the twist. They're coming from the south side. Fast forward 2 hours, and our mystery person is back, but now they're approaching from the north. Now, if they actually lived there, wouldn't they use the same route? It doesn't add up. The plot thickens when we realize there's only one building that connects these puzzle pieces, the house at 1122 King Road.
Hey Dylan, we've got your back no matter what. Life throws curveballs, but your struggles don't define you. They're just part of your story. We're here ready with support, understanding, and encouragement. You're not alone. Keep pushing forward one day at a time.
She's trolling her. She's trolling Dylan. She's like, this is Dylan with her with her hair braided, who knows? But she is saying basically that take a look, it's Dylan coming back, and Dylan's carrying something, and is it Murphy?
All right, car enthusiasts, buckle up for some mind-blowing news. Remember all those YouTube videos claiming the 4:20 a.m. SUV was a Jeep? Well, I've got a plot twist for you. Picture this. 6:30 in the morning, sun barely peeking over the horizon, and our mysterious 4:20 a.m. vehicle rolls in. As the light hits just right, we catch a glimpse of something unexpected, a circular badge on the front. That's right, folks. It's not a Jeep after all. All those YouTubers had us fooled. So what could it be? We're not here for the drama. We're here for the wheels. That's right. We're taking a peek at what's parked outside Dylan's Boise pad. Boom, a Nissan Pathfinder with a lovely round badge. This image was taken by Google on October 20th, 2022.
Boom. 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 Boom.
It's 4:22 a.m. and Dylan texts Bethany saying she's too screwed to run downstairs. But here's the twist. At that exact moment, someone's seen sprinting towards this Nissan. Fast forward to 6:30 a.m. and our mystery runner seems to return. But wait, there's more. The other camera catches the car heading east, straight for Gritman Hospital. What's really going on here? Was Dylan actually in her room or even Bethany's room?
I will tell you this, it's definitely not what the cops say. So whether you believe our girl translucent there or not, don't know. The fuck is this girl?
We've got the inside scoop on Brian Koberger's cross-country road trip. Picture this. A father-son duo driving from Washington to Pennsylvania over 4 days. They made pit stops at 3 different Comfort Inn hotels along the way, all booked under Dad's name. December 13th, 2022, they hit the road at 8 a.m., cruising for 8 hours to Twin Falls. Next day, another 8-hour drive lands them at the Utah-Colorado border. So this investigative journalist drops a bombshell in his book, When the Night Comes Falling. Apparently, Law enforcement had no clue Brian was heading home by car. For 2 days, Brian was off the grid, and the authorities were completely in the dark. It wasn't until Brian crossed the Utah-Colorado state line, the FBI knew exactly where he was. An automatic license plate reader scanned his plates and instantly alerting authorities. This was also mentioned in the original affidavit. In this book, the author accidentally spilled some major tea. Get this, a Cessna 182 plane was tailing Brian from day 3 of his journey. Now here's the kicker. That's the same type of aircraft the FBI uses for surveillance. The author, who's clearly team guilty, had no idea he was dropping this bombshell. This revelation opens up a whole new can of worms. Was Brian already a person of interest before the outcome of the DNA analysis was known? You're probably thinking, no way this author can prove a plane was tracking Brian. But guess what? We've got the receipts. Ever heard of ADS-B Exchange? It's a website that lets you replay aircraft flights from any date and time. We're about to dive deep into some next-level detective work. It's 11 p.m. Zulu time, 4 p.m. local. A license plate reader gets triggered, and suddenly, a Cessna 182 takes to the skies. This isn't an FBI plane. It's a commercial plane that happens to be a Cessna 182. We are wondering if law enforcement called the airport to scramble any available plane to have eyes in the sky, to confirm a white Elantra was on the road, or to keep track on it. However, as you can see, the flight cuts short, returning to the airport promptly. Did ground units already take over, allowing the pilot to return to the airport?
We're diving into day 3 of Brian's cross-country adventure with his dad. They're hitting the road at 8 a.m. sharp, cruising from Fruita to St. Louis. Now, here's where it gets juicy. After checking the maps, we can't find a Cessna 182 or other aircraft that is continuously tailing them. We think the tip used in the book was a one-time flyby. What we did notice 2 hours in is the ground unit may have needed a breather, and boom, a helicopter swoops in, picking up Brian's trail. Similarly, on day 4, just minutes before Brian is stopped twice in Indiana, a helicopter hovers an Esso gas station and then follows Brian's path until he's pulled over. Law enforcement were indeed tracking Brian before the IGG tip. His DNA matched a knife sheath, but now we should doubt if this is the same sheath from the crime scene. Heck, let's go one step further and postulate that Brian noticed his knife missing after returning home and so searched online on Craigslist and Amazon for the suspected thief. This case is a complex puzzle with many twists and turns.
What? Wait, he searched online to find who stole his knife sheath? How would that tell him who stole his knife sheath? Craigslist? Does he have amnesia? He doesn't remember selling it on Craigslist? He wanted to see, no, somebody was selling it, Lana. He wanted to see if anybody was selling his.
What's the real story here? International students pay way more in tuition. We're talking 10 times the rate. Now imagine if the word got out that our campuses weren't safe. It could be a disaster for enrollment and reputation. Korean, Chinese, and Indian students would choose European universities instead, such as Oxford or Madrid. So, what happened next? Well, it seems like someone had to take the fall. Enter Brian Kohberger.
We've got the inside scoop on Brian.
Enters Brian. Somebody had to take the fall. Enter fucking Brian Kohberger. Enter Brian. Enter Brian, baby. I can't believe I can't believe that you have not done a video. I can't believe that you have not done a video on Brian Kohberger's missing bug guard girl. Come on now.
Whoa, did you hear about Steve's recent interview? It's got everyone talking. So, the host digs deep asking Steve about Kaylee's last texts and voicemails, but here's the kicker. Steve draws a total blank. Can you imagine? He's there on the spot and just can't recall. Steve also says he spent 10 hours a day investigating his daughter's case, but when asked by Daniel, he can't remember her final text messages and voicemails. How does a father forget his child's last words? It doesn't add up. Think about it. If you were desperately searching for answers, wouldn't every detail be seared into your memory? Especially something as crucial as the last communication. This isn't just forgetfulness, it's downright suspicious.
Did you hear any voicemails, or was it just text messages? Was there like proof of life at the time when those voicemails were, or calls were done?
The phone stuff was investigated by Christy and Olivia, so I wasn't around when they actually got into those things. I seen some of the screen captures, but
All right, let's dive into some juicy details. Remember that email Steve sent to the Andrew Myers show? Well, it's back in the spotlight, and it's raising some eyebrows. Steve said he couldn't remember if Kaylee called 911, claiming he needed to check with his family first. But here's the thing. Why would he need to check if he genuinely knew she didn't? It's giving us major he knows something vibes. Think about it. If you weren't sure about something so important, wouldn't you just say, she didn't call 911? This whole need to check business is making us wonder what Steve's really trying to hide. Is he buying time, coordinating stories, or is there more to his whereabouts that night Ann Taylor may need to be aware of?
Wow. Steve Gonsalves was at 1122 is the name of that episode. See, I feel so privileged. 19 minutes Lana gets. 19 motherfucking minutes. These videos are 1 minute apiece. 19 for Lana. Oh, Karen. On that note, you fucking rock, Karen. $999.99. I don't even know. Such a talent, though. Such a talent to be able to make these videos. You know? Translucent, what was your first video about? What was the first thing that you ever made? How about that? We gotta take a look. God, what do we got here? We absolutely lied. First video of Trans Lucy. Is it this one? Framed?
Individual identified.
Let's see how your skills have evolved.
Chief Wright, John Webb with KHQ. On September 12th, there was a vandal alert that was sent out about a potential stabbing threat on Paradise Path. Does this have any connection with what we've seen so far?
Not that we know of it, but we're following up every lead. Every piece of information we get, we are following up to ensure that nothing has gone unturned. We want to have...
He had nothing to do with this investigation, you guys. How is he doing these press conferences? He doesn't know a goddamn thing. Nothing.
The individual identified who is the suspect of this eventually. So we are literally looking into every aspect of everything. Every piece of information we get, we are following up to ensure that nothing has gone unturned. We want to have the individual identified who is the suspect of this eventually. So we are literally looking into every aspect of everything.
3 days have passed. Chief Fry makes a slip up. They know they will frame Brian Koberger. They are checking all the evidence, not to incriminate him, but to make sure nothing can exonerate him. After all, why use the term individual? Why did they ignore the other male DNA samples?
We're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that nothing goes unturned and that we do everything we can with the assistance of all the resources we have to get a final answer.
Thanks, Chief Wright.
To frame Brian.
So there were, sorry, I'm Emma Epperly with this book's interview. Hi. So there were other roommates.
Emma, go get him, Emma.
Who lived at that residence. Were the roommates home at the time of the attack?
Yeah.
There was other people home at that time, but we're not just focusing just on them. We're focusing on everybody that.
Can you now imagine, listen to this, how early on, and we're not focusing just on, there's people there, we don't even know who the fuck was there. We don't know shit. Look at these reports. You don't know shit. We're just not focusing on them. We were like, day one, get away from the roommates. Get away from the roommates. And they had the most like fucked up things to say as like, wait, they're there. They're Dylan's opening and closing her door. Like, what the fuck is going on? People are getting stabbed to death. Then she just goes downstairs and goes to sleep. This was before both of those two girls were interviewed with their November 16th and 17th interviews, like their big ones. We're looking away from that.
Maybe coming and going from that residence.
So since they were home, was it a hostage situation?
No, it was not.
And then
did you not think about that before? Like, oh, maybe they were held hostage. Did you guys ask them that? Like after she would have said that? Like, where is she getting that from, right? So was it a hostage situation? What?
They didn't call it into police. So were they injured?
They were not injured. But like I said, we're still following up with everybody that could have been in that area.
Does he mean they still haven't inspected other people they know were at the house, such as David Loach, Jack Shoulder, Emma Bailey?
We do have a suspect out somewhere, and we are looking for that individual to solve this.
We do have the thing about this. We do have a suspect out there because of Dylan. There's a guy that did this.
How many were there?
We believe 2.
How many were there?
We believe 2.
No.
We believe 2 people were there.
No. You don't believe 2. Otherwise, there would be no pause. There would be no need to say I believe, but you need to make sure nothing will bite you later when you make the arrest on Brian. I find it astonishing that just 3 days after the incident, the police got so excited to see Brian Koberger on camera, driving, that they more or less just dumped any true investigation and just went all in on Brian. It seems all the checks they did were only to make sure nothing would exonerate. This makes me lose confidence in the police. It makes me doubt if the sheath was real. It makes me wonder if Idaho students are still in danger.
Chief Fry John Webb with K.
Welcome. Trans Lucy, baby. All right. Translucent, just going down memory lane with our love story here. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication to your channel. And thank you for showing us your breasts right here with your sunglasses and your breasts. White, milky breastises. Thank you, Translucent. Fuck. No, Lana, we weren't tipped off. Look at this. No, Lana. Girl, I'm fucking so honored. No, Lana. No, Lana, we weren't tipped off. Lana. All right, guys, that's going to conclude today's episode. Trans Lucy, the one and only. Gifting 10 memberships. Karen, you better not be translucent. I'm just kidding. Shelby, thank you so much. Love TNT. TNT loves you too. I'll be back. I got to hear from you guys, though. What do you think about this FOIA bullshit? You know, I wonder how Translucent feels about her FOIA is getting totally fucked over as well. So use the comment section. Let me know what you think. FOIAs. Till next time. Peace out. You guys rock. Thank you so much, Karen. Karen gets a bell. Everybody gets a bell. Thank you, moderators. Much love. Appreciate you.